So before starting the session, we'll just make a file over here, day 3. So that is day3.5 with a 5 extension. And over here, we'll just go for, we had done till this, and now we'll continue with further. So as you got the basics of what is string, what is list, what is dictionary, what is tuple. Now one by one we'll cover. We'll try to cover till list today because it is not very small topics. Each and every topic consists of more than 15 functions. Okay, so we'll start with string. So over here, there are some important notes on string. You just make a note of it. Now, Python has bulletin string class called str. As we see that class type str is that is what the string is. String literals can be enclosed by either double quotes or single quotes. As I already told you, both the meanings are same. And now this is something different, something new for you: triple quotes. Now, what this is triple quote all about? When we write paragraphs. Uh, Let me write the heading, sequence, and then all the sequences name. Let me write it over here. Number 1, string. Number 2 is list, and so list. And number 3 is dictionary. And number 4 is tuple. Okay. Now we'll start with the string. Documentation is very, very important always. You always remember this because after 1 month or 2 months, you will always forget the documentations. So let us take a variable s for storing a string, and let us store in the double quotes. Okay. So for example, this is Teckat. Okay. This is Teckat, and I want to write in the next line. I don't know what is this going on. Welcome to Teckat. Okay. Now you can see there is an error thrown over here. If I want to write in the next line, it will throw an error. I can write in the same line, but not in the next line. Now if I print this, if I print s, if I execute this code, python /session1 day3.5. So you can see it is executing. Okay, but when I make it to the next line, I want to execute as a paragraph, it is throwing an error. So for eliminating this, we have paragraph to write the paragraph, triple quotes to write paragraph. Okay. Now we'll just have s equals to in triple quotes, triple single quotes. Okay. And then we'll close it. 6 quotes all in total. Over here, we'll just copy this entire statement right from here, and we'll paste it over here. And we'll just press an enter. So you can see there is no error over here. And if you just execute this code, I believe it is not saved. Okay, we haven't printed it. Print s. Or you can select any other variable like st. That will be also great. So you need to make this also st to print it, and now we'll just execute this. You can see over here, we got it this Teckat, and then welcome to Teckat. So all the things are the same. You can see over here, we have given a space. If we don't give it, then it will be at the same line. So this is how we can write paragraphs in as a string. So triple quotes are used for paragraphs, and then strings are immutable. That means we cannot change. Since once a string is created, we cannot change that each and every bit of the string. We can change the words, we can change everything, but we need to change everything with the words entirely. We cannot make changes like if there is no s, we will change in the s. That is not over here. We need to change the entire word. We have that function. Now the first function that we're going to deal with is the capitalized function. Now what is capitalized function actually is, it will capitalize all the values. You can see, let me function, and the first function is capitalize. Okay. So over here, if you have a string like s equals to maybe anything, let me copy this only. Let me copy this string. Okay, this is my string, and I am using capitalize function s dot capitalize, and that is a function. Oh, sorry, uh, where my cursor went. I don't know. I believe today is all system errors day because we have 3 laptops, and all the 3 laptops are having some system issues. I don't know why. Today is a very bad day for us. So now if we do this and we print it, print s. Now let us see what happens. Let us take any other variable, maybe a. You can take a also. Now whatever variable you choose, you need to capitalize that particular variable only. A dot capitalize, and we'll print a. That is. This is the way how we use functions. There are 2 methods. One we pass the value, and one we use as an dot operator. With a dot operator we use it. So these are the 2 things. Different functions use different things. Now you can see what thing we have done over here is nothing. We have got the same value. So what this function that means doesn't changes the actual part, doesn't make changes in the actual part. It actually changes, but we need to store the changes. If you are not getting how to test it, if you are not getting it directly, the change directly in A, that means you need to store it. So let me take a variable B, and I will just print B over here. B over here. So now you will find the change over here. If I execute this, see, you will find T is capital automatically. Over here T is small, but right over here T is capital. You can see, and rest everything is small. Over here we have written W as capital, but over here is W is small. So if you want to test it, let us make S capital, let us make K capital, and let us make over here T capital. Okay, now we will test it. That is it the same. So you can see everything becomes small, only the first letter becomes capital. So this is how this works all over here. The first letter after this must also take as capital. I believe there was a space, maybe. Yeah, that's why it is not taking. Okay, so you can see all other things are small, and this is capital. So this is what capitalize function does. It capitalizes the first character value, and then everything is small. Now the next function is count. Now what is count? If you want to count a substring inside a string, now what is a substring? A part of it. If you want to count that how many times is there present inside this particular string, then you can use this function count. Now this function, what it does, the main string is over here used as a dot operator, with a count function, and inside the count function it accepts the substring value. So if you have stored the substring over here, you can use that variable, or you can directly write the substring over here in double quotes, and it will check it out. So let us use this. Now we have the second function with us, count. And to separate, let us write over here. Documentation is very important. Paragraph testing, paragraph triple quotes. You can write over here triple quotes, and then a comma. And over here you can write capitalize function, capitalize, and then a comma. And then right over here we will take another variable, let it be x or a, the same variable, no issue with it, because it is going step by step, right? So once it is executing this statement, then again it is if you are assigning it, then that means it again assigns a new value to that particular variable. The remaining value will be eliminated. Now this is what we have over here. Let me make a comma right over here. This will look better. So this is Teckat. Welcome to Teckat. Okay. Now we will search how many times we have Teckat written over here. Now once it is capital and once it is small. So both are different. Okay. So you can see practically. Now we will pass a dot count equals to a dot count in a function will pass in double quotes Teckat in the small cases. Okay. Now I need to store this count somewhere because it will count the data and we need to store it. So let it be B for the storing the data, and now we will just print B. Print. We have count function equals to, and then comma and B. So this becomes a better representation of the data. Now let us execute this, and you can see count function says 0. So now why it is 0? Okay, you can see over here, it's not Teckat. There is no spaces between the spaces over here after the full stop. So if you put a space over here, that means this becomes a word. Previously, what happened? Teckat.welcome become a word over here. That's why it is not taking any data. If you make a space over here and then execute this, then I believe it will take a data. Didn't. K is capital. Okay. Very good. You have a good eyes. A is capital right over there. And now you can see it's counting 1. If we make it only TE or only EC, EC is small everywhere. If you are counting only E and C, the combination of E and C, then you can execute this and you'll find 1. I believe we haven't saved this, maybe. So it's telling you 2. You can see it's giving you 2. So where is 2? This is 1 EC and this is 1 EC. And in VS Code, you will find if you just highlight the word, if you select it, how many times it is there, you can see over here. It is on this particular string, it is given 2 times. You can see the highlights. Okay, this is what VS Code over here. So this is the counting function to count how many times it is there. Now if we move to the next function, then we have, if you get some doubts and all, you just put on your doubts in the comment section. Okay. Ends with. Now, what is ends with? Ends with is also the same type of like count. It also takes the main string over here with a dot operator, and over here you will find pass the data that you wanna check, the checking data. Now, whatever you pass it over here, it will check at the end. If this goes at the end, then it will give you the true or false value in the bullet. Okay, either it will give true or else it will give false. So let us check again. Let us execute this. Now this is our substring ends with. Yeah, ends with function. Now in this function, let me copy these lines from here. Let me copy this. And b equals to, let us store b, and a dot ends with, inside the function name, print count is a dot count Teckat. Can we write like this? Yeah, we can write like this. Okay, let us write in this only. Okay, both are same almost. The functionalities are same. So if you want to check, you can write directly over here. Print, and inside this we will write ends with function equals to, and then a comma, and then we will write a dot ends with, and inside it will pass the quotations. Maybe it is ending with Teckat, so we'll just copy it for no error. We'll just copy this and paste it inside this, and it will give you the exact match. I believe it should work. So let us see. We'll execute this, and it is giving ends with function equals to. If you just miss one thing from last, if you miss just one thing from last and you want to execute it, it will so give you a false. But If you don't miss from the last, but you miss from the first, maybe these three words you are missing, that doesn't make any difference. It will give you true once again. You will find out true. So ends with checks from the last that each and every character are matching or not. Okay, this is what ends with function does. Now, similarly, like ends with, we have a starts with function. Over here, it will check from the starting. So let me print over here only with this function only. Number 4 starts with. And I will use this A only right over here, and I will just directly print it. Starts with function. Let me write like this. It will be a little simpler. Now, the function is a dot starts with, and inside this will pass on the value. So maybe it is this. So I'm just passing this. You can write multiple statements like this is Teckat. If it's starting from this is Teckat. Just copy this and paste this over here. So it will check it. So let us see if this goes right. You can see it's true. But only if you just change only anything over here, anything right over here, if you execute it, it will give you false. You can see. So everything should match exactly. Then only it will give you true. Now this is done. Now after this, what we can go for, the system is a little slow over here. Now, yeah, index. So what is index all about? You can find the exact value over there in index. Okay, like is fun. So at what is fun being started? The position. So you can see if you are counting the position from 0, as over here everything is counted from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The character is also 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19th is the position. And you can see over here, it's 19th given right over here. So this is what the index does over here. It will count from the beginning till the position where it is. Now, if we go for the function, index function. Now, if we take this same variable over here, print, and then index function, then we will have it as a dot index of. We can say this function as of, index of, and let us take is. This is great. S is capital. Let me make S small. Is is. Okay. So this is done. Now let us execute this, and let us see what is the output. Index is 2. Now let us count. Okay. There is one more is over here. You can see over here, there is one more is over here, and it is taking 0, 1, 2. The first value wherever it gets as is, it will give you, throw back you that particular value. It won't go for checking the next value. Once it gets a value, it will just give you the value. So this is how this count function works, index function works, sorry. Now there is one more thing. If it doesn't find the value, for example, let me make two cases over here. Finds the value. There is a very important thing I want to share off on this. That is why I'm just making it to conditions. Finds the value, and we can say doesn't find the value. Doesn't find the value. I believe I made some spelling mistake over here. It doesn't. So let me fix it. Just yeah, this is good. Oh, I made it doesn't. Okay. So over here, we'll just copy this part, paste it over here, and instead of is, I will make it z. So there is no z inside this entire string, right? So we will just execute this, and we'll see what it gives. It gives an error. You can find, you can see over here. If it doesn't find, then it gives an error. Now, in some of the functionalities, when you go to the professional world, there is some systems that is made something like if you find an error, the program should not proceed. It should stop at the particular moment. But there are some programming and some softwares where there is some other conditions that if you find an error, then you need to do this thing. The program should not stop. You need to do this thing. So if you make it manually, then it will take a lot of time. We need to check first of all that that character is present, and then we need to pass on the index, and then we need to take up the value. So it takes you a lot of time, a lot of effort. But for that, we have another function, and the function is find. Find does the same thing. It finds the particular your what we call it position number. Okay, it also gets the number position number, but it will not throw an error. So we will just have the next function. It is find, and over here we'll just copy this entire statement, control copy, and we'll just paste this over here. So instead of this, we'll write find over here, and same goes over here. Now this also replaced with find, and this also replaced with find. Now there will be no difference, okay? Only the difference is the second part where it doesn't get the value. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to comment this, or else the program will continuously get stopped. Now you will see when it was going on, it was throwing an error. But over here, if it is wrong, then it is throwing -1. Okay, you can see over here it is throwing -1. So this is what the difference is. You can check out if it is -1, that means you can throw a message that there is an error and the substring that you sent for checking is not present inside the string, present string. So this is what over here we just have right in the find a special benefit. Now there I have also written it, mentioned it. You can just note it down, or else you can read it. The index method is similar to find method to the strings, but the only difference is that find method returns -1 if the substring is not present or found, whereas index throws an exception. Okay, this is how it goes. Now we move to the next part. It is lower. Now what is lower? If you what I told you that while handling data, we have several things like we want to check if everything is in lowercase, we're going to check if everything is uppercase, or else user may type data in any of the languages. It may be lower, it may be upper, but what we can do, we can check out that if it is we can make the changes. Like if you want to store everything in lowercase, then we're gonna take the data, put everything in lowercase and store it in the database. Or else we can take the data, put everything in the uppercase and store it in the uppercase. So we have 4 functions over here. So let me tell you all the 4 functions. The first is the 7th one is lower. Sorry, is lower. This is the function. Then we have 8th one is upper. This is the function. And then we have 9th to upper. Okay, let me make it as a sequence to lower. And then similarly, there is the 10th position to upper. Okay, so these are the things that we have over here: is lower, is upper, to lower, to upper. That's it. So we're gonna test one by one. Let me take another string for this. Let us take a string M, K, anything you want, you can take it. So let me take a string in a jumbled format. Okay. Uh, The cat welcomes all the partners for the support. It's very difficult to write in different cases. Okay, so we have written it in jumbled cases, right? Now we'll test one by one function. Now we will test on the is lower function. So we will let me make it out of this. Let me make it somewhere over here. Yeah, so that we can only write in the function. So we'll just use two lower functions. So print lower is lower, sorry, is lower function. So is lower is basically for checking if the present string is all in lowercase or all in uppercase. Okay, now we'll check the is lower function and we'll pass on the function k dot is lower. This is the function, and we won't pass anything inside the function. So let us execute this and check out what is there. Is lower is false. You can see we got it false. Now let me make a string also with all capital cases and all small cases. Let it be for capital, I'm using C. Hello world. Hello guys. Let it be hello guys. Okay. And for small, let it be S. Teckat heartily welcomes you. So now everything is small over here. Now I will just pass on this function, this S over here. If everything is lower, as in S everything is lowercase, so I will just pass on this S and then execute this code. So you will find we got through. You can see. Let me copy this and paste it, and I will pass once K or else C, anything. Both will give you the false. Now you can see over here you get the false, over here you get the true, right? Similarly, in this functions also will have the same thing. So we'll just copy this and paste it over here. Now this lower becomes upper. Similarly over here this becomes upper. This becomes upper. And this becomes upper. Okay, these all functions becomes upper over here, and now we'll just execute the code. So you can see we got false in the all the lower part. S is false, you can see, and C, as all the capital was there in C, so it gives you true. Okay, similarly we have two lower. If you want to convert everything to the lower case, so we'll just write print, and inside this we'll have two lower function, comma, let it be C or K. K is the jumbled one. K dot to lower. Okay, we use K dot to lower. Now you will, I believe it's not too lower, it's lower. Maybe it is lower. Let us see. Yeah, it's not too lower, it's lower, I believe. Let me check it once with this. Yeah, you find C. K was a jumbled string, and we had changed to everything to lowercase. So let me change this also. It is lower. Yeah, similarly over here it is upper. So we'll just make this upper and copy this, paste this, and change it to upper. Over here the same thing as upper. Just another key. Now we'll just execute it, and you will find the same string where it was a switch swap cases. Over here, it is completely in uppercase. So this is how we store in database. Convert the every data that is user defined and we store it in database as per our requirement. Okay. So I told you all the things. This is lower. Now this is upper. Okay. It will be checking that it is upper or lower. Now it is lower. It will convert it to the entire part to lower part, and this is upper. It will convert it to the upper part. And now we have swap case. Now what is swap case? Swap case is a function where if it is capital, it will switch it to the small, and if it is small, it will switch it back to the capital. So over here we'll use swap case. Now the 11th function is swap case. You can see how many functions we have done. I told you that there are almost 15 functions in each and every sequence. So it will take a lot of time to cover us each and every functions, because all of them are important at some part when we use data. So in swap case, what we do, we just take k example of k, right? K dot swap case, and we'll pass nothing inside the function. Let us see what does it give. So you can see T was capital, now T is small. Rest everything is capital, and all the capitals are small now. So this is what the lowercase and uppercase changes in the swap cases. Okay. So now after swap case, we have stripping. Now what is stripping actually? It's eliminating the values from the front side and the back side, but not changing any values in between the string. Now what that means, if you have a string something like this, and we're going to strip this sign, this may be any sign, I don't remember, I always call it as a similar sign. I don't know actual name of this, but see, this sign, if you want to eliminate, so there are three types of stripping. Either strip direct means either strip is directly you strip. That means it will strip these signs from the starting of the string and these signs from the end of the string. Okay. Now you have L strip and R strip. Now what is L strip? It will strip the left side of the string and it will not strip the right side of the string. Okay, in L strip. In R strip, it will strip only the right side of the string and will not affect the left side of the string. So there are three types of stripping. Now let us do this. Let us do this. So first function, sorry, 12th number, it's strip function. And before this, let me write stripping. Okay. Now strip function, we're gonna print. Let us take a value over here so that it is easier for us. Let us take z equals to, let us take the signs, or else you can take dash, 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 and hello, and then again dash, 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 dash. So let me remove this space. Now this is what it is. Okay. So now we will just strip it. So we will go for print strip and comma z dot strip. Okay, we pass on this function, and now if we see to it, then let us see what it does. Okay, we didn't pass anything inside the strip. So we'll pass the character dash inside the string, inside the strip function, and now we'll see. So you can see it is stripping from the left side as well as from the right side. Okay. Now we will have the 13th function, that is l.strip. Now remembering all the functions are very difficult, but application of the function should be that you remember that this should be done through this. That is what is very, very important. Now this is a print, and inside that we'll have l-strip, and then a comma, and then we will have z.l-strip, and inside that we'll pass on the character that is dash. Now if you see over here, only the left side has been stripped and the right side remains the same. Similarly, we will have R strip. So let me copy this, and the 14th number function is R strip, and same over here is R strip and Z dot R strip. So this becomes okay. Now we'll just execute this, and you can see the right side is still not there, but the left side, sorry, right side is has been eliminated, but the left side is still present. So in our strip, the right side values will be eliminated. Okay, this is what happens. But if you press something inside a string, for example, if you have a dash inside a string, it won't affect. It won't affect any values inside a string. Okay, it won't touch any values inside the string. The value that you're going to strip should be continuous. Then only it will get in effect, or else it won't. So now this is stripping is done. Now we have replaced. Now what is replaced? As I told, you cannot change this G over here. If you want to make this G, or you want to eliminate this O and you want to make this as God, this is not possible. You want, if you can, you have the access to replace this. Okay, this is a string and you're going to replace good through great or good through God. Then you can do this. Okay, so let us do this. 15th number function, that is replace. And we'll just print replace and then a comma, and we're going to replace it with Z. Z dot. Okay, what is Z actually is? Let us take another variable, not Z. Let us take R for replace. And this is a good day. Okay. Now I want to replace this good with pleasant. Okay. Oh, sorry. I made it somewhere else. I need to do it over here. Yeah. So this is a good day. Now I'm going to replace this R dot replace, and inside this I'll pass with what I'm going to replace. The first is the letter, is the word that is present that we want to replace it. That is the first thing. So I'm going to replace good, and then a comma, and then a word. You can see over here. Whenever you write this function, there's a pop-up that shows replace functions accepts two variables, three variables actually. First is the old, where you need to write the old whatever you want to replace in the present in the string already. Now the new word that you're going to replace, and then count number of times that it should be replaced. Maybe it is that 3 times only you want to replace, so it can be replaced 3 times. Now here it is written that the count is optional. You can study this function, how it is written. This is documentation of the function. So you can study this and do it according to yourself. So I'm going to replace it with pleasant. Now let us see what happens. Okay, let us see what happens. This is the there is spelling mistake. This is a good day. This is a pleasant day. Now let me execute this one second. This is a pleasant day. You can see over here. So this is how we use the replace function. Now next we have split function. Now this is very important while split. Split, when we go for long projects and all, the split functions used very much, and most programs use it. Actually what it does, it accepts the data and splits it into a list and stores it into a list. Now list is something like an array, you can understand. So over here it will strip all the words. It will just strip each and every word separately, and it is stored in a list. Okay, so I will just giving an example, but we won't go very deep into it as we haven't covered this list function. So we will just cover the split over here. Split. Now, how are you going to do this? If you have, for example, this, R, you want to split this. Let us take a variable L, because to store it in a list, we want a variable L. And what you're going to do, R dot split. Now, over here, you can see separator. It takes a separator. That what does it mean? If you want to separate it through spaces, then you can leave it blank, or else you can give a space right over here. Both are correct. If you leave it blank, by default it is separated by spaces, and if you give a space, then also it will separate by spaces. Now, if you have a comma over here, let me give a comma and put you both the things. I have L R dot split, and then new list NL maybe R dot split, and inside that I will pass comma. Okay, I'm splitting it through comma. Now I will print both the list over here. The printing process is the same. Print the function we are using split. So split, split, and inside it we have passed spaces. So we want to give only space over there, and we'll print L right away. And similarly, we will have a print, and inside that we'll pass on split, and inside that we have given commas. So we will just execute a comma and then end this statement. Now split with comma, we will give equals to and then a comma and then NL. So this is done. Now let us execute this. When you execute this, you will find that over here in the first, when we split it using spaces, this is another, then is this another, then comma is another elements of the list. Okay. Now over here, when we separate it using comma, then we'll find this is another element, comma is another element, and a good is another element. You can see over here we have got this data. Okay, it is separated using commas. So this is how this entire function works over here. So this comma, don't just see that this comma is this. It is not actually this comma. It is the separator between two elements inside a list. It is by default separator used inside two elements inside a list. So this is element 1, this is, and a good boy is element 2. So this is what split does. It separates as per your requirement. Now next we have slicing. Now what is string slicing actually? Over here, if you wanna only you want a substring, like you want from B to learning. Now this you can do using slicing. Now how to slice? You're gonna start the starting element number, that is 0, and the ending element position. Starting element position and the ending element position. Put a colon in between, and it will slice it. Okay. So there is no function over here, but you can say an operation. The 17th one is slicing. Now how to slice it? Like I'm just printing directly. Slice. Now let us take this R. Let us take R only. So R inside square brackets, we're gonna slice. So I want something from let it be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From 5, I want 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want till 10. Okay. So 5 is to 10, but it will not give you this A. Now why it will not give you A? I will just let you know. See, it is giving you till S comma, but it is not giving you A. Okay, let me count it once again. This was 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it will not give you A. Now why it is not giving you A? This last character, last end position moves till n minus 1. Now if I give it 10 over here, that means it will move till 9. Okay. Now if I give you 11 over here, so this will move till 10, and when you execute it, you will find A. Okay. So this is what slicing is all about. Now there's a task for you. Using slicing, you're going to reverse a string. Now you need to find it out how to reverse a string using slicing. This is your task for today. Just note it down and try to do it when you work at home. Okay, so there is the questions are over here. You can write down these questions because these questions are damn easy and easy to understand too. You just make a note of these questions and we will move forward. So did you write this question? So as we finish string, just let me know in the comment section that did you understood the entire string part, entire functions. If you have any queries, you can put down your queries, or else you can write clear in the comment section so that it is easier for us to understand how much you got it. It's clear. Very good. Okay, guys. Now, next we have the list. Now, you tell me, you suggest me that should we enter list today or shall we take it to tomorrow? Because we have don't have very much time with us. But yes, if you want to continue in a single day, then we will shift it tomorrow, or else we can start today. It's upon you. So you let me know that what to do on this. Shall I continue or else tomorrow? Continue. Okay. Virachi says we should continue, so let me continue these things. So over here, list. Now in the list, you will find the list type is a container that holds a number of other objects in a given order. The list type implements the sequence protocol and also allow you to add or remove objects from the sequence. So this is completely based on this technical statement. Okay. Basically, what you understand should understand is a list is a container or a folder. You can understand a container where you can store data, where you can store data, and the data could of any type. It could be string, it could be float, it could be integer, anything. That is what a list is. It's a container which stores data. Now this is a format of the string. You can see this is a blank list. Now over here you have all the numbers in the list separated with comma. This is by default separator. Here the numbers over here. All the strings in this list. Okay. Now we have capital strings. This is not of these are floats over here, and over here it's a mixture of both the list. So let us execute one by one over here. Let me see what we started off. We started off string over here. Okay. So now we'll start off sequence. And then list. Number two, list. Yeah, this is that. Now, blank list. First of all, we'll just blank list. And this is how we integrate a blank list. L and then this, the square brackets. This is how the format of blank list is. If you want to print it, you're going to print this, print L. We're going to use L only, same value. So we'll print each and every time whenever we use it. Let me write over here so that it is easier for us to understand. Blank list. This will go well. Now we execute this. So you can see it's a blank list. Inside that we have nothing. Now we'll just have number list. Number list. L equals to store in the same list. It doesn't matter to us. Okay, let me include one element over here. Yeah, this is done. Now we'll print it again. Now you can see we got the number list. Okay. Now let me write it also so that it is easier for us to understand. Yeah. So that is executed. So you find the number list like this. Now if we have a string list, then you can write, you can make another list, string list, and we have L equals to inside this in the single quotes, because over here it was a number, so we didn't require the single quotes or double quotes, anything, whatever you want to write. So you can have the strings like dad, then you can have another string like mom, then over here you have another string, you can have like family. Okay, so this is what you have over here, and now you will print it, print string list, and then a comma, and then again I will print L because we are storing the same variables. Okay, so we're gonna print it each and every time so that we don't lose our data. Now string list, you can see it's coming dad, mom, family, anything, right? Similarly, we have float list, maybe float list. Now inside float list we'll have, and again L equals to, then inside the list 1.2 comma 3.4. Over here also we don't want any of the data, the single quotes we don't want over here because these are the numbers. We'll just print this and write it down, float list. Yeah, so now we'll just pass it on L over here, and we'll see the output. So float list, you can see the floats are also there. Now we will have a mixing list. Okay, let us name it as mixing list. I don't get a better name of this. If you have it, you just suggest me, I will just write out that name. Mixing list or mixed list, this will be a better one. Mixed list. Now L equals to, then into this we have 1, 2, then we have maybe float values, 2 to 3 float values. Then we may have the string values, apple. Then we may have banana. Always when you opt for foods, apple, mango, banana. These are the three common food that everyone just write it down. So always it comes into mind first. Now we will have mixed list. Now there will be spaces, and now we'll just, yeah, this is done. And we will just press enter. So we'll find the mixed list over here. You can get this. Okay, so this is for the four types of list, how you can use the list. List stores any type of data over here, right? So this is what the basics of the list is. There is a list content. So this is the same that we have just printed right now. And then we will have the functions. So we won't go for the functions today because the functions again will confuse you today, because a lot of concepts today, strings and the basics of list, all are there for today. So tomorrow we will start with the functions of the list, and then we will go for the dictionary. Okay. So for today we end the session over here, guys. If you have any queries, you can put on the queries in the comment section, or else we'll end this. And yeah, I would love to have a feedback from you. That did you love this session and did you find this session interesting? Just make a feedback in the comment section. This would be great for you from your side. Okay, thank you, Adarsh. Thank you for so much. Okay, Viranchi says learn new things. Thank you, Viranchi. Thank you, guys. So I believe, okay, Swati also says that's good. Thank you, Swati. Sudha, thank you very much, Sudha, for giving me such a good compliment. Thank you, Ankita. So, guys, so we'll end this session today over here. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.